Hi, I'm David Fleming from the Disciples Ignited YouTube channel, where we're focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now, this is going to conclude our study on revival outpourings that have taken place throughout church history. Oh, there's more to come for sure. But we're ending on our study of revival outpourings by talking about the unity that I personally saw taking place during the revival outpouring that took place at Brownsville Revival Assembly of God. Now, the humility and unity that was seen in this ministry team was a powerful statement of the fruit of the revival outpouring itself. The Lord truly assembled together a leadership team that exemplified the New Testament gifts of leadership. First of all, there was Pastor Kilpatrick, who was an ever watchful example of a true pastor of the Brownsville Assembly of God. Then there was the evangelist, Steve Hill, who was anointed as an evangelist to bring in a mighty harvest of souls. And of course, there was Lyndall Cooley, who was an anointed psalmist that every night just ushered in the presence of God through music and singing. And then, of course, there's Dr. Brown, Michael Brown, who was a gifted teacher that later became the leader of the Brownsville School of Ministry. They each did their job well, and there were no signs, at least visible outward signs of jealousy nor envy among them. Now, not only was unity seen among the leaders, but it was exemplified throughout the whole body of believers at Brownsville Assembly of God. You see, it takes more than just leadership to lead a revival outpouring. I mean, there were masses, there were thousands of people that came through the doors of that church, and it took people that were willing to sacrifice and work, not just leaders, but constituents of the body that just had a love for Jesus and a desire to share the blessing of the Lord's outpouring with other people, everybody that was hungry. So we saw unity. Every time I went, I saw unity among all the workers. The ushers are a really good example of those who are willing to sacrifice their time in order to help facilitate the move of God. Most of the ushers worked full-time jobs during the day, but they were faithful to open and close the church every night, as well as helping to manage the massive crowds that were attending the services. For years, it was common for people to form lines outside the church and wait for up to 10 hours just to get into the evening service. But who was there to get everything ready? The ushers, many of them who had been working all day. Keeping some semblance of order was in large part due to the wonderful ministry of these ushers. Without their hard work, I doubt that the revival outpouring would have been as effective in ministering to as many people as it was. However, the ushers are really just a portion of the different ministries that were needed in order to house that revival outpouring. And all the times that I visited Brownsville, I always felt welcomed. The members of Brownsville Assembly of God always gave you the impression that they felt it was an honor that God had chosen them to be custodians of such an awesome move of God. Yes, there was true unity. Now, if you do any digging into the history of why the revival outpouring at Brownsville ended, it was because that unity was broken. Just to be honest. But you know, as long as that unity was there and there was no jealousy or rivalry or anything like that, or any thing that would break that unity, the revival was in full operation. And so that just gives us a heads up. As God continues to move in our midst, and when he brings revival outpourings to come, we need to guard over that revival outpouring by keeping the unity that God gives us amongst us. God bless you, and keep praying for revival for this generation. We'll see you later.